Mecha Break is a free, fast-paced, multiplayer-only mech shooter with huge team battles, flashy abilities, and a focus on speed and style over simulation. You pick from different strikers, basically hero-style mechs, and jump into 3v3 or 6v6 matches with chaotic, high-mobility combat. Think Gundam meets Overwatch. Now, I tested it on the Steam Deck, and surprisingly, it runs a lot better than it did during the open beta a couple months ago. Here's how it performs, what you can tweak, and whether it's actually worth playing on a handheld. First off, Mecha Break is Steam Deck verified, it boots with no issues, anti-cheat works fine on the Steam Deck, and controller support is pretty okay. Now there are a couple of different graphical presets, and with the performance preset and FSR set to auto, you're looking at a pretty consistent 60 FPS with some dips into the mid-50s during heavy action. Now on the OLED model, I got around 2 hours and 30 minutes of battery life at this setup. I also tested it with the FPS uncapped, and it can spike to 75 or even 80 FPS, but realistically it hovers between 55 and 60 most of the time. Capping it to 60 just makes the most sense right now. And now I tried switching FSR to quality or performance or max performance or even deep learning, which is the first I see, and this just causes frame rate to drop to mid to low 40s, so I wouldn't recommend those for now. The biggest annoyance is that graphics settings are locked down on the Steam Deck. You're stuck with the performance preset, and the only thing you can really change is depth of field, motion blur, and FSR. And even the usual command line that I use, which is the Steam Deck equals 0% command percent, doesn't actually unlock more options, doesn't seem to work here. The only way I figured out there are more settings is because I also installed it on my PC, and you can only adjust the basics. Luckily, the default performance preset looks good enough and keeps things smooth. There's obviously some artifacts caused by FSR, but in the heat of battle you don't really notice it that much, and it honestly runs smooth enough for me to kind of enjoy it. Gameplay feels right with the Dex controls, there's no lag, no weird bindings, but navigating the menus is clunky. Some screens will expect a mouse input, so you need to use the right touchpad like a cursor, especially in the beginning when you have to accept terms and conditions, and when you have to use the Steam Deck's internal keyboard, it can be a little bit finicky, but for the actual gameplay part, you're gonna have no issue with the controls. Now, in terms of actually enjoying the game on the Steam Deck, I'm not so sure I do. The game is fast, flashy, and chaotic, and that's where the Steam Deck's small screen becomes a bit of a problem. This game relies a lot on dodging around and going behind your opponent, flying up in the air and surprising them, and in the middle of a big team fight, it can be hard to read the battlefield and see where your enemy is. It can be really hard to track enemies or spot projectiles flying at you and activating your shield at the right time, and it is definitely playable, and I can see why it's verified, but I don't think the Steam Deck, or any handheld for that matter, is the most comfortable way to experience it. So my final verdict, is it worth playing on the Steam Deck? I think it has great performance, battery life is pretty solid for what it offers, controller support is reliable. However, I'm not a fan of the graphic settings being locked even if it runs fine, and the screen size makes chaos hard to track. Still, it runs smooth, it's fun in short bursts, matches are pretty quick, and it has come a long way since the beta. If you like fast-paced mech games, maybe you want to give that one a try. It is free, so you got nothing to lose. That's gonna be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like, subscribe for more Steam Deck content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.